place is great. When can we move in?
Hey, good morning. It is 2 days from Christmas. Happy Monday morning, everybody. I hope that you had a great weekend. I know a lot of people that had their Christmas celebration over the weekend. Let me know in the comments here. See, did you have Christmas over the weekend, or is that, do you celebrate Christmas Day like my immediate family does? Looks like we're going to have a white Christmas here in Minnesota. I know that there's a lot of people that are watching. I've been so blessed by your messages. Seriously, it's, I thought maybe we would get like, I'll just even say the number. I thought maybe we would get, 100 or 200 views in episode. And, on Facebook, that's not the case. And YouTube has never been real popular for me. And that's fine. I'm not trying to say it needs to be, but excuse me, man, there's something bugging me this morning. But here in Minnesota, we're going to have some snow again today. We already have a few inches on the ground, so it's going to be a white Christmas, it looks like, after all. But today, we're going to give away some free coffee. I have Shiny brand coffee here, and I'm going to tell you about what that looks like here coming up. And how we're going to play the game today. It's going to be a little bit different than the last couple, so we'll see how this one goes, but it should be a good time. First thing on the list here today, is this the world you want because you're making it? That's going to be, that seems to have been a hit for people, and that to get you into that mindset. And so Forever Wounds, a few weeks ago, I ran into somebody, and Forever Wounds was something that was kind of I guess you might as well even say a topic. And the topic that it was is they've had this struggle for literally decades, just over 2 decades. And so I was thinking about the wounds. We're going to always have the wounds, but we need to have continuous healing in the respect of the wounds are going to be there. Some of the things that I've been witness to, including arriving on scene unknowingly to my daughter's car crash that she ended up dying from. We all have those wounds. Some of them are deeper than others, but what we need is continuous healing. And I was thinking, would it be good of me to just allow them to sit in the mire and wallow in all the crap and things that they were wallowing in at the time? And would it be beneficial for me to say something? And so I asked them if they wanted to hear about, my thoughts and opinion, and after hearing their story, and they invited me and said yes. And so I said, I'm concerned that you're not continually healing. You have the grief, you have the wounds, but your healing just isn't taking place. And so we walked through that, and it was a very uncomfortable conversation, to say the least. But I hope, my wish is that I don't want the world to be, I'm making the world every day. I have encounters with people and things every single time. And so I don't want the world to just forever be wounded. We have the wounds, but we need that continuous healing. And so I thought that would hopefully help them. And I think it did. They said it did. They said it was different perspectives. So when you encounter somebody with wounds, help them heal those wounds so that they don't continue to hurt and that make the world a little bit rougher place. So here's what we're going to do for the giveaway. You see on the screen there, shinybrand.com. So we're going to take a 30-second break, and we're going to come back with defining your day, understanding and walking away. That's in the segment defining your day. So in the live show here, we're going to give away coffee and a bonus. So whole bean coffee and also a bonus. And what we're going to do here is we're going to come back in 30 seconds. But what you need to do in those 30 seconds, and I'm going to give 3 to 3 people, if we have 3 people that'll participate in the live show here, I'm going to give away to 3 people 1 bag of whole bean coffee and a bonus. I'm going to surprise you with that bonus when I send it out to you. And so what we need to do is we need to take 30 seconds, go to the website, and you need to list all 5 colors of the coffee. They have labels on the front of them. It says locally roasted coffee, and then it says what the name of the coffee is with the label. So I need you to go look at the label and then report back to me with those 5 colors. And the first 3 people that do that in the next 30 seconds gets a free bag of whole bean coffee and a bonus. See you in 30 seconds. Hey, good morning. So 2 people were able to do that. They text me and said that they already knew what 2 of the colors were. But I need you to comment. Like I've said, this is brand new and this is clunky, but we're gonna have a good time with it. So 2 people sent me a text message, and so they have coffee and I'm gonna send them a bonus. Tomorrow morning, we're also going to do a giveaway, but we're going to move on to defining your day. To define your day, there's something that seems to be a common theme in this, especially this time of the year, and that is that we just got out of an election cycle, a big election cycle, the presidential election cycle, and that was intense, as we all know. But the thing with it is that we're all humans, and that it's really important that we those politicians, they're never going to know us. They're never going to come visit our house, or the chances of that are basically zero. And so we have to live with our neighbors and our friends and everything and stuff like that. And so I just got a text here. That's an interesting point. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So we need to have conversation. So I just got a text that I was wrong about something, and they actually, I just saw the text, I should say. They sent it a while ago, that I was wrong about something on Friday's show. And I've said this before on many podcasts, a whole bunch of them, in fact. And that is that just because I'm wrong doesn't make you right. So there's a saying, it goes something like, before you hold a grudge, hold a conversation. It may be simply a misunderstanding. So if we don't hold those conversations, but yet hold a grudge, that is on us. That is toxic. That is a terrible thing to do. Doesn't matter what your political views are or anything, but to define your day in that toxicity is an extremely dangerous thing to do. And it is not something that I would recommend to anyone, but you can understand the parties, and then you can walk away from that and do that with understanding, rather than holding a grudge and not knowing where they stand and having all the information, because we are people that are so wrapped up into hyperbole that it's insane. And, all that kind of stuff is just not a good way to live. So we're going to move on to the next thing here. And that is creating your future. And the topic today is being alone. I see a lot of people are alone this Christmas in all kinds of different respects. And Um, I remember the first Christmas without my daughter. Um, it's a tough time of year. There's no question. There's people right now that are experiencing that for the first time. They've recently lost somebody unexpectedly or expectedly. It's the first, and that's rough. That's really rough. Um, so to create your future, we have to be good at and be okay with being alone. And that's not an easy thing. I don't know if I'm getting this quote right, and I don't have the name written down, but the paradoxically, I had this in my notes from a long time ago. Paradoxically, it's hard to say this early in the morning. The ability to be alone is the condition for the ability to love. And that's so powerful. Paradoxically, the ability to be alone is the condition for the ability to love. If we can be with ourselves, if we can understand ourselves, we can love. And for those who have lost this first Christmas in that feeling of being alone, maybe you've lost a relationship or someone has passed away, it's a powerful thing. You had the ability to be alone and to understand that in order to feel that kind of deep love for that person that you're missing right now. But that goes back to understanding sometimes in toxic relationships, understanding and still walking away, even though that there's love there. So the faith-based thought of the day is this: predicting Jesus. There's a lot of people that are celebrating Christmas and don't believe in Christ. And I think that's an interesting thing. I'm not going to talk about that and my thoughts on that. But we have literal evidence of them predicting Christ, Jesus, in Isaiah 7:14. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son and will call him Emmanuel. And in Isaiah 9:6, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And there's other different verses that can kind of predict that as well. I got another message here. I'll send that to you. Sorry, I didn't see that right away here. So scrolls and things were written down, and whatever you want to call it, they literally predicted those things in the place, and the time and what would kind of be going on in government even. And so I think that's pretty interesting, to say the least, and evidence that there is a all-knowing, omnipotent God. I really believe that. I think there's a lot of evidence of that. And as we're approaching this Christmas, I think that's extremely important to understand, for me. And what's really difficult, and I'm trying to think of how to say this, what's really difficult is that no matter what our belief is we can't force that belief on anybody. We can only be a witness to that belief. And so that's what I would encourage. I'm trying to be a witness. I'm not a good witness. I've never even said I'm a good guy or do good things. And so I think that's just what it is. But it's really important to be a witness the best that we can, and to do it for the glory of God and the Son rather than for ourselves. So we will see you tomorrow on Christmas Eve. I will be here on Christmas morning at 6 a.m. I am going to share one of It's both. One of the things I've hated about Christmas, and I'll tell you the origin of that. And it's also one of the things that I get the most joy from. So we'll talk about that on Christmas morning. But tomorrow morning, we'll see you at 6 a.m. Thanks so much for joining. It is really, I need the encouragement to keep doing this. This is early. I don't like getting up this early, and nobody really does, but I really want to hear from you. It's really important for me. This is for us doing it together. I literally had hundreds of messages on to do this, and I want some more to continue. What are some topics that you want to talk about? 90% of the things that I have talked about so far on these few days is topics that people have brought up to me and that they want to know more about. So make sure you send me a message or comment on the video. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning.